Hey everybody, welcome back to the Soul Sartorialist YouTube page. One thing I like to do as an image consultant and as a big sports fan is image consulting and branding goes beyond just individual people, and it goes on to athletes and performers and companies and organizations. And one of the most funnest things is to have that conversation and talk about something that I'm very passionate about. And so on this channel, you guys will start to see things about sports and celebrities and many different things as we do brand breakdowns and kind of giving you my perspective as the owner of the White and Simmons Advisory Group, kind of giving you my perspective of how I would do things. And that's what we do at an advisory. We give advice to professionals and brands of how to navigate their brands in the world so they continue to be competitive and to be successful in all of their ventures. And so today we're going to talk about the big next chapters for Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, or Austin Creed, as he has on his social media. And we're going to talk about a group that have been superstars on the television with WWE for many years, many decades, and what it looks like for them now that they have exited or requested their release, and what are some big opportunities for them as a brand. And from my perspective, I put together this slideshow to kind of give you an idea of what I think at the White and Simmons Advisory Group and what we would suggest to them as they continue to figure out what the next steps in their careers are. And I hope that you guys enjoy this content. It's something unique and different. Instead of just talking about shirt and ties and suits, but how to present brands, from a global perspective and from a revenue generating perspective. All those things are tied into the way you present yourself. And so today we're going to talk about the next chapter, the opportunity for Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods, and what we would suggest to them as they make their way into the world that they have not been in for a couple of decades, right? So they are now free agents in the near future. So I hope you guys, please forgive me too. I'm also dealing with some allergies, but I think this will be very informational and fun. If you're a big pro wrestling fan like me, I grew up during the Attitude Era, loved The Rock, was my favorite wrestler, and The New Day, one of my beloved groups as well. So here we go. The next chapter, opportunities for Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods. We're going to give you a general engagement overview that I put together for them and what I would suggest if I was an advisor. Number one, after that 90-day non-compete clause, which is pretty standard, I guess, with the WWE and TKO, these gentlemen are free agent acquisitions. It's going to be effective. There's going to be a lot of different organizations. If I'm TNA, if I'm AEW, if I'm MLW, if I'm any brand or organization, after that 90-day non-compete clause comes up, I'm giving them a call day one. I'm developing my pitches. I'm getting my slide decks together as well. I want to make sure that I come correct because these gentlemen are so valuable to the market. They have 20 years of equity built up with the fans, 20 years of goodwill. They have done so many good things and added so many wonderful things to many of our lives. And if you think about Kofi Mania, if you think about Xavier with his video gaming UpUpDownDown channel and his brand that he helped build and from the ground floor, these gentlemen are much beloved, not just in the ring, but outside of the ring as well. And so if I'm any organization within 90 days, once that 90-day non-compete is up, I'm reaching out to these gentlemen. All right. So major concept should already be ready with these pitches. Let's talk about Kofi Kingston specifically as we do a breakdown. Kofi Kingston is a proven main event talent in all of pro wrestling. He's a former WWE champion. He's established in the main event. He has drawing power. I mean, the merch, excuse me, guys, the merch that the New Day was able to sell, and Kofi Kingston as well, and Kofi Mania. The dude is literally a cultural icon. Probably one of the top 20 greatest WrestleMania moments is Kofi Kingston in my life, 35 plus years on this planet. And so the dude has the pedigree. He's also won the Intercontinental in the U.S. and multi-time. He's one of the most decorated pro wrestlers in the history of pro wrestling. And now he's out on the market. He's a cultural icon, massive international appeal because he is also Ghanaian as well. And he has a diverse fan base demographic as well. He's a 16-year legacy plus years in pro wrestling. So when you talk about um, storytelling and understanding how to manage a brand for multiple decades. He's got it well put together, right? If I were him to give him a strategic path, there should be something where you should position him for the AEW Tag Team Championship contention within 6 months. If I'm AEW, there's a storyline where I can see him and Xavier going against, when to me, I think this is a dream match, Edge and Christian, or Cope and Christian Cage. There's a huge opportunity for those gentlemen to have a dream match. And it's very rare in pro wrestling when you have an authentic, never before seen opportunity. Also, you have FTR, you have the Young Bucks, you have the Hurt Syndicate, you have a wide variety of tag teams that are available to do that, as well as Private Party. So many opportunities for them to really elevate and become a world-class tag team division. Probably when you get these two and also the Motor City Machine Guns, you have a huge opportunity for them to be so many tag teams. And if I'm AEW, you want to do that at the upcoming pay-per-view as soon as possible, or your biggest pay-per-view. I think it's going to be All Out or All In. Let's talk about Xavier Woods. This dude is literally, in my opinion, a creative genius. The UpUpDown founder, he's literally revolutionized the interaction of gaming and wrestling. Huge communities, huge opportunities to build equity there, to become a creative contributor. If I'm a brand, specifically in video gaming, in the video game industry that's been needing a little bit more refreshing, and it's kind of at a lull, so to speak, I would be looking at Xavier Woods. The dude understands what he's talking about. He's brilliant. He's sharp. He's very personable. He has a unique capacity for cross-platform storytelling and strategy. The dude already has existing relationships, right, with many different other brands, including Twitch. So if I were him, the next step would be launching an UpUpDownDown 2.0 as an independent entity. He may not be able to use that same name, but he could have something adjacent to that, because there's huge brand equity and there's huge opportunities in the video game world for him as a creative director, building these partnerships and really sinking his teeth into a passion that we all know he has. And so I think that's a huge opportunity for Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed. For Xavier, I kind of put a breakdown here of some of the things that I would do if I was giving him and Kofi some advice from the White and Simmons Advisory Group, if they're ever interested. Positioning AEW creative as a director, as a creative director, and on-air talent, influencing long-term brand trajectory. These gentlemen know how to scale and build a huge 7-figure brand. I'm assuming the merch and other things that the New Day have been associated with. These guys understand how to build a brand and effectively position it and to build a fan base. And AEW, in my personal opinion, I've been an AEW fan since its inception. Huge opportunities for them to help bring a fresh set of eyes and perspective, specifically in the merch area, and also just brand trajectory. I think they can add a lot of fuel, not just in the ring, but also with the understanding of the brand. I think transitioning gaming content to a sovereign channel with high fidelity production values. Xavier, you get a team together. He's a world-class personality. He's extremely brilliant. He can obviously, if I was a person that was doing content or doing video and audio and video and media production, I would be creating an email template to send out to him as soon as that 90-day window is up, because this dude is world-class in his ability to create and be a content person. The dude is a phenomenal brand ambassador. He's lovable. He's quirky. He has a great sense of humor. He would be a phenomenal brand ambassador. And I would try for him to, if we were advising like Xavier or Austin Creed, I would be advising him to try to continue building that another tier of revenue by continuing finding authentic brand partnerships that make sense for him specifically, especially as a gamer and as a really brilliant mind as well. The in-ring championship path, right? If I'm AEW or any of the other bigger brands, signing with AEW as a primary tag team force, him and Kofi and Xavier, I think it would be phenomenal. They could
be aggressively positioned for tag team contention in Q3 of 2026. And I'm going to pull up, again, please forgive me, guys, for my allergies. We're going to pull up their schedule. They have a couple more pay-per-views. So right now, I'm pulling up their event schedule. We have Double or Nothing, Sunday, May 24th. That'll be too early for them to do that. There'll be some other upcoming events. So we're going to look at their event calendar. We have, I think the biggest thing for them would be if they hit the window. I would suggest we're going to look at August. All In London, August the 30th, 2026. It's phenomenal. I think it would be a perfect situation where you have Austin Creed, aka Xavier Woods, and Kofi Kingston show up, and you really build a good storyline. You get a huge pop, one of the biggest events in AEW's event calendar. If I'm Tony Khan, it makes zero sense not to make a pitch for that to happen at All In London. You maximize the crowd experience. You already have, you kind of preemptively have the merch and things ready to go, because I guarantee you, not just in London, but globally, the merch would sell out within hours, specifically with Kofi and Xavier. They're so beloved. So I think you would target that All In London time as well. And like we talked about before, the Young Bucks, FTR, Hurt Syndicate, Edge and Christian. I really want to see Edge and Christian, a.k.a. Cope and Christian Cage. It would be ridiculous. And if I were them as well, advising Kofi and Xavier, I would try to position them with a unique merchandise deal with AEW where they have a higher share, and you kind of make them drive those opportunities. So they are obviously merch gods, so to speak. They can produce a lot of merch when it comes to just their personality and their own screen personalities. And so there needs to be an independent platform that they have that helps them with the merch revenue alongside the AEW shop royalties, because they want to control their logos, their graphics. They really have full creative control. And I think both of those, Kofi and Xavier, would do very well if they had that. So having another independent platform with those merchant revenue, I would be getting that spun up as soon as possible. So the New Day with their podcast, I don't know if you guys were listening to the New Day podcast during COVID. It really got me through some dark times. It was a phenomenal podcast. The chemistry between him, Biggie, the three of these gentlemen, the level of knowledge of pop culture and just day-to-day life and the authenticness of their relationship was one of the best things to listen to on a day-to-day basis. Some of their tournaments that they would do together for movies and different pop culture things was phenomenal. And so, again, if I'm Kofi and I'm Austin Creed, aka Xavier Woods, create a podcast. You get, and if I'm a podcast, whether I'm Spotify or iHeartRadio or all the other terrestrial podcast organizations. I'm even thinking about like another one they could go to would be, I would give a suggestion to, because I listened to Busted Open as well, and they have some phenomenal things, Sirius XM. So any one of those organizations, if I'm a guy that works on accounts for Spotify or iHeartRadio or Sirius, I'm trying to sign them to an exclusive podcasting deal as soon as possible. They have millions of fans, millions of people that have bought into them over years, who've listened to their podcast, and they're really good, naturally good at it. And they're very inventive and smart about what they talk about and the different things. It's literally a green space. If I was their advisor professionally at the White and Simmons Advisory Group, LLC, they have to do that. They would want to do it across Spotify and YouTube, and they could easily monetize that immediately with ad revenue and premium sponsorship tiers, because they're people that you want to be fans of. You want to support them. They're authentic and real, very real guys. And they're people that you just get behind. They could also create a special Patreon with exclusive behind-the-scenes access and early bird content for a dedicated membership base, tiered rewards, including limited edition merchandise and virtual Q&A sessions. I personally can't get enough of Xavier and Kofi. because again, they're genuine. They have very interesting lives, and they're into so many different things. They're really Renaissance men. And again, if I was advising them as their professional advisor at the White and Simmons Advisory Group, these are things that I would also add to the revenue streams as well. The global convention circuit, a huge opportunity for them when it comes to what they do. I mean, San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con appearances. If I'm Xavier and I'm Kofi, the first thing I'm doing is trying to figure out how that works within our new schedule. It is a must for them to hit the global convention circuit. They have to be super great opportunities for audio and video, live podcast, panel sessions, elite branding for major market fan experiences, whether that's LA, New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Charlotte, Miami, Tampa, etc. Again, if I was advising them as their advisor from a business perspective, they have to have at least, I would say, maybe 6 big calendar events, 6 to 12 events that they attend a year that are big where fans can come and see them, maybe even DreamCon. That would be pretty awesome to see them in Austin, Texas or Dallas, Texas. That'd be great. That would be a huge get for DreamCon. So yeah, again, I would advise them, get that on your calendar as well, as they can fit it in with their schedule if they are going to be on television consistently. They're also doing podcasting. So really tight scheduling there and logistics. But they got to do the global convention circuit. And that's just the United States. Globally, they would be phenomenal. Think about London. Think about Japan. Think about different parts of Europe that they would be really big in. So really great opportunity in the global convention circuit as well. And so unifying all of those revenue streams with the television, streaming, global convention, they can really grow that revenue, I would say, to the 7 figures from year 1 to all up to year 5, and really set their families and themselves up for a really successful life. They have wonderful families. They are both married gentlemen, and they really can leave a legacy that goes way far beyond pro wrestling and into the minds and hearts of their fans. And they really can help do that. A lot of times when wrestlers leave the bigger organizations, they're like, how am I going to make money? How am I going to survive? These gentlemen have so much brand equity in the relationships that they've built by being themselves authentically and being the stand-up Renaissance men that they are, that this would be a no-brainer. And so, again, if I was advising them, there are many different ways that I would do that. So my final recommendation is the transition is simply not about professional wrestling. It's about the creation of a diversified media empire. The recommendation for us at the White and Simmons Advisory Group is to leverage AEW as the primary platform for visibility while scaling independent digital platforms to secure long-term reoccurring revenue. Together, Kingston and Woods can define the next generation of what athlete entrepreneurs can be. Much like a LeBron James, much like a Tom Brady, much like the gentleman on the pivot, or many other podcasts that people watch and listen to as well. Shannon Sharp is a great example of how he has figured out the media landscape and diversified his media way far beyond being on the field, and literally has created himself a second career or third career outside of ESPN and broadcasting into podcasting independently. Would love to see him on Shannon Sharp. Love to see him on a pivot. Would love to see them on many other platforms, The Breakfast Club, and just so many opportunities for them. So whether that's podcasting, merchandise, television, conventions, this is the professional advice that I give as the owner and founder of the White and Simmons Advisory Group, of what Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston should do to maximize their opportunity once that 90-day non-compete goes up. So this is our plan. I just wanted to give you guys a brief high-level analysis of what my thoughts were, to kind of give you guys something that's outside of my normal, instead of talking about, pocket squares and shirts and ties and, beard care. I'm going to do more content about sports and brands and how they can maximize and do that. And hope you guys enjoyed. It's something unique and interesting. And I look forward to continuing to bring up high-quality content for you guys. Thank you for coming on here. And again, that's what we do here at the White and Simmons Advisory Group LLC, is to provide brands and people opportunities of how to take their unique talents and capacity and how to monetize that and how to structure it in a world where entrepreneurship is becoming the word of the day. So yeah, guys, I'm excited. And thank you for looking at my high level analysis prepared for you guys. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day.